We're here in Pietermaritzburg, South Africa, conclusion of the first round of the Downhill World Cup in 2014, talking with Mik Hannah from Hutchinson UR team, who's just finished second. Mick, so close. For a big part of the race, you had laid down the run that no one could come close to. Were you starting to feel a little confident before Aaron Gwynn came down?
I definitely felt a little more confident once Greg came down, and not because I'd beaten Greg, but just because I'd put time into Greg at the bottom. But then I knew I'd made a few little mess ups in the top split, so I wasn't sure if it was quite enough. And then Aaron came through, and he was 3 seconds up, and Aaron's a strong rider, so there was no way I was going to pull that much time back.
Yeah, because what was happening was there were a few riders who in the first section through the rocks were ahead of you by a second or a couple of seconds, and then in that middle pedaling section they'd always lose it all to you, which is where you seem to make up a lot of ground. So that's why we were wondering when Aaron came through, oh, he's 3 seconds up, well, maybe you can still pull it back, but he was strong at the end too.
Yeah, it definitely just came down to my mistakes in the top section. I was 3 seconds off what I expected to do in the top split, so I didn't even need to have a perfect run at the top and I would have been fine, but there's just a couple of little things that unfortunately happened up there, but I just stuck to the plan and still had a good time down the bottom, but it just wasn't quite enough today.
So overall, still satisfied with your run?
Yeah, overall I'm really happy with how I'm riding. I'm happy with my fitness, and the new bike's amazing. Polygon's got on a new prototype that is just riding really well. I've only been on it 2 weeks, so as we get to learn more and get used to it, get used to setting it up, I think it'll be really strong for the rest of the season.
And now the series moves to Cairns, so you get to race in Australia. You must be looking forward to that, or is it a little bit more pressure?
I don't really mind the pressure, but I'm really excited to race a World Cup in Cairns. That's where I grew up, and that's where I started to ride downhill, and now to have all the guys come over and have a race there, it's just going to be amazing.
Have you seen much of the course? Do you know what to expect? What sort of course you're going to get?
Yeah, I actually rode it a couple of months ago for a week with Trace, and it's got a bit of everything in it. There's some rocks and roots and a few jumps and some really high speed sections, so it should be a really fun course.
Well, again, congratulations going into Australia with the number 2 plate.
Yeah, thanks very much.